Hello everyone, welcome to the October forecast. I'm doing it a little differently this time. I'm going to go by what number you're drawn to and read it that way versus doing fire, air, water, or earth signs. So take a moment, pick what number you're drawn to, and take a deep breath, whatever you have to do to center, and just see what number 1 through 4 pops into your head or which one you're visually drawn to. And that will be the reading for you. Also, if you have this feeling like 1 or 2, you can listen to both. Okay, so the way that this works is a little bit more interactive as a psychic reading than a general reading, because you're choosing the number, or your soul is drawn to the reading, which it already knows that I'm giving for that number, and so therefore you're drawn and you resonate with that number. So I believe this will be a bit more accurate and more personal than doing the signs readings as far as psychic goes. Okay, so I'll put the timestamps below. And as I'm starting to go here, I know I'm getting a general message about self-expression, about letting out some pent-up resentments and letting go of some aggression, or letting it out. So I know that there's a lot of you who are here who are needing to express yourself based on imbalances that have been going on in relationship. So let me start here with number 1. Okay, so number 1. As I connect here with number 1, I know I'm talking about relationships. I know I have this crystal here representing number 1, so I'm going to hold it too. And as I am connecting here, I know I'm talking about relationship. Okay, so this is a message that is going to resonate with people who chose number 1. Are dealing with, what is my relationship to others? How am I honoring others? Okay, because I have to say the major theme that's coming up is this imbalance in relationship between myself, you, and other people in your life. And this is a cycle that is coming to an end, where others are expecting a lot of you, and there's an imbalance here. And I also want to say this has to do with family members and friends, more so than romantic relationships. Sorry, also co-worker relationships, or my relationship to authority. So even with my boss, am I letting people take advantage of me? Because I feel like I have to let them. So I know that's coming up here for once, and I know that this is a theme in October, and I'm getting a message here about honoring myself and my spirit, honoring what's beautiful inside of me. Because what I'm seeing is others are noticing those beautiful things, because I want to say you're very reliable at work, you're very reliable to your family for the most part, and others acknowledge it, but they also are taking advantage. And so you're being very called this month to draw boundaries in relationship, and this is going to be a really big deal for you. I'm also seeing like the Justice card in my head, meaning which is really interesting because also this is the card of Libra. So you are in Libra season, and this is the balancer of relationship. Libra loves balance in relationship and inspires all of us to find that balance. And I'm seeing that for you. I'm seeing that beautiful Libra sun that is bringing you to this place where you actually really have to speak up about what your boundaries are, what you're going to be able to do for others and what you're going to be able to do for yourself in a harmonious way. So I'm also getting this sense that there could be a martyrdism. I never use that word, so I do feel like that must be coming specifically for you, martyr. Archetype that comes in because it's like, you know in your gut you didn't want to do it. Do this activity or do this favor, quote unquote, that someone's asking of you, but you did it anyway, kind of thing. And now you're having to deal with that imbalance. And it's this archetype of martyr that you are working through and getting past. And I do see this Libra energy, or this month of October, really helping you to do that. Great. So I know we're being called into balance here, because this is really about when we're talking about self-love, this is what self-love is. It's actually saying no when you need space and time to yourself, to do a favor for yourself, so that you can therefore go ahead and do for others in your integrity, in your power. And also I know that I'm hearing the church bells ringing. So I know that we're also dealing with a lot of celebration in the month of October. So I do feel I'm talking to you Libra birthdays who picked number 1. So happy birthday. I know that I'm dealing with Libras who are very creative artists. Even those of you who are not Libra, who are artists who are watching this, getting that as well. Let me see here. I see this is a very prolific month for you. And it's almost like, well, September was so prolific or something like that. Or September was, so I have to say, like, this continues on for you. You're making a lot of creative work. A lot of you are creating things that you're actually going to be selling in the holidays. So I see this as being really beautiful time for artists and creative people who are making your own things. I see you doing that, and I see you feeling that balance, that happiness when you do this for yourself. So I want to say, just do the 1 or the 2 things. Don't worry about the 30 or this huge series of work. Start small, or just start with the 1 or the 2, and don't be afraid to share it, because I see that hesitancy to share the project prematurely. We just put it like this: when you're finished with the 1, you can share that. You might not want to show the entire 1's process, but when it's finished here, you can share that and move on. And that's what you have to do. There's a process to getting to 30. And these numbers must be significant also in some way, because, to a few of you. So there's a process to getting there, and you have to go through this kind of, I have to tell you, it's kind of like a linear process. It may have its ups and downs, but it's kind of like you have to get through 1, 2, 3, and so on until you get to the 30 series and you see the series. It's a process. You can't be a caterpillar and a butterfly immediately. From caterpillar to butterfly immediately. You have to go through that growth in order to get the final product here. So I know that you're dealing with a bit of impatience, and I just want to reassure you that what you're doing, you're on the right track here with what you're doing. Okay. I know that I'm talking to some who are feeling or are in romantic relationships, and I feel those of you who are in romantic relationships, it's a wonderful time to continue to honor them. And I have to say, what comes to me is like cooking at home and a lot of home work with the romantic relationship. I literally see you like making stew, making soups together, warm, fall, healthy foods together. This is a bonding experience that is important in this relationship, and that you talk while you cook. Okay, you connecting while you're cooking and eating and talking versus watching shows or something like that. But I do see that as being a really beautiful relationship for the two of you. I know that I need to relax because I know that I know that I need to take a breath, so to speak. I know that I am basically working in the sense of, let me see here. It's a good thing. There's a lot of excitement that's going on between romance and career, romance and relationship. But the ones has the tendency to get ahead of myself, to project into the future. And I have to tell you that, you know, the breath, the deep breathing, and the meditation to get you into the present moment. Taking a deep breath really gets you into the present moment. This is going to help you throughout the day. And even if you close your eyes and take a deep breath throughout the moment, that's helping you throughout the day. I just feel as an ending to your October, which looks really beautiful. I just will pull a card here, and it's an oracle card from the Nature's Whispers, it's called. Just so to leave you kind of with a visual. There we go. Okay. And here it is. Acceptance of love, and it's that romantic relationship we're talking about. So I always love pulling a card at the end to give you a visual of what we were just talking about. So you see how spirit works between the psychic messages using the cards or not using the cards, then how the cards affirm what was just being spoken. It's, to me, it's miraculous. But at the same time, if you have faith, you know it's happening every time. And that's kind of part of the message too, is these miracles you come to accept as part of your everyday life. And that's part of your message. Acceptance of love in this romantic relationship is part of your message too. You're like, this is real. For those of you who are single, it's a very promising card for you. If you're looking for, or if you're feeling drawn towards romance, the message here is to love first yourself. And what does that mean, really? The message is knowing that I'm lovable without having that person telling me that yet. And knowing that I have so much to offer and so much love to give. That's true, but can I accept loving myself? So that's a good mantra for those of you who are single, really knowing that you're worth this perfectly loving relationship and to accept. I love that they are in a tree together. It's a very sturdy foundation for you ones. So those of you who are in this romantic relationship, it just feels like pure bliss. And I just want to say, with its roots in the ground and its branches in heaven. So you have that nice balance going on between you and your partner. And I'm also getting the master number 11 with this card. So I want to just say, those of you who are connected to that number, or seeing that number as single people, just knowing that you are starting to resonate with that romantic relationship, and to keep in mind that everything in a romantic relationship is really what's inside of you coming out. So if you can focus, and it sounds almost selfish, but it's truly not. If you can focus on that 11 resonance, that master number of pure balance and spirituality within yourself, you will be able to find that happiness within that relationship that is coming to you. And the harder it is for you to find balance in yourself, the harder it is for you to even recognize that happiness when it comes to you. So the best thing to do now is accept love of yourself, accept it in the present moment. Okay. Thank you so much, number ones. This was a beautiful, really promising reading. I hope that you're getting a lot out of it for the month of October. It feels really personal and specific. So please comment and let me know if this resonated with you. Thank you so much, and lots of blessings this month. Okay. So here we are. Let's see here. We're starting here with number 2s. Let's see. So number 2, I know that I'm dealing with number 2 vibration here. I know I'm looking for a lot of grounding this month and stability in my life this month. I have to say, for you who have picked number 2, it's almost like you've been in the clouds and really dreaming. I mean, really out there dreaming. I want to say this, it's like this air sign of Libra that we're in for October is really getting you really into your higher mind. So it is thoughts that you're having, but it's going to be higher inspired spiritual thoughts that you're having. How am I going to be congruent with my belief systems, or beyond my beliefs, beyond belief system? Okay. Spiritual knowing or spiritual journey. How am I congruent with what's up here in the cloud, what's in heaven, what I channel, my intuition, congruency with what's going on the physical plane? So I feel very high, to be honest with you. I feel this is a really high time and a really spiritual month for you, where you are literally getting, what I'm hearing is droplets from spirit, droplets of knowledge from spirit. So your intuition is very high. Your crown chakra seems very receptive, we'll put it that way, and that's your 7th chakra. So I also know that the number 7 is significant to you. And when I'm saying that, I mean that, you know, in your life journey, we have people who are resonating with the number 7 because of its high spiritual and divine design number. 7 chakras, 7 colors in a rainbow. All of the 7 that comes up is so important in design, okay? So you're constantly tapping into the resonance, and I know you picked number 2, but it's like number 2 is number 7 in this reading. You tap into that resonance in order to make, let's say, sense of your life. You typically are not following a linear path. This is a spiritual path that you consciously are on right now. And in the month of October, I see you receiving a lot of, like they say, downloads. But I have to tell you, the reality is you're getting them, but it's not all about you. It's not just for you. It's philosophies. It's new ways of being in the world, new ways of creating art, new ways of gardening, new spiritually inspired, intuitive ways of creating that you're receiving, but it's not just for you. It's like it's coming through you so that we can share that with others. I also know that you're very concerned with the environment and climate. What I want to say is climate crisis and the environment. I know that you're deeply connected to Earth, and I see the frustrations that is coming up for you, number 2, because I want to say, like, the powers that be seems to be against or in opposition to your spiritual resonance of the 7, the divine design of things. And when things are outside of the divine design of things, you can see them as not being true. You can see the incongruence. And this is deeply frustrating. Okay. So I want to say you have an activist mind, and to keep with it in a resonance of love. So when you're finding yourself being very frustrated and focused on the powerful, the externally powerful, who seem to be doing damage, okay, who are doing damage on this physical plane, it's being called, and you're being called to draw your power back into yourself, and knowing that those of you who are resonating with this climate crisis as healers, as light workers, as activists, are coming from truly a place of love of the planet. And that can manifest in many different ways. And sometimes it manifests as needing to scream or speak out in really loud and really definite ways. I just want to say to you that you're being called to keep an even keel, okay? It's very Buddhist, it's very Zen, what I'm feeling. What you're being called to do is like to be unmovable. It's very much in line with spirit of all backgrounds, to be honest with you. Spirituality, okay? Because I'm also getting that, Jesus, Buddha, this immovable force, and how to channel these masters, to channel that, to use their example of how to get things done on earth. it has to come through spirit. So you're on the right track because you are coming from spirit. So it's like the more you get in tune with spirit, the more you seeing the imbalance on the physical plane that you're really not liking. And it's all about this month congruence for you. And great for you because it's in Libra. So Libra is helping you. The sun energy, literally, that we're all feeling is helping you balance out and learning how to live there, you know? Live in that balance of being, of knowing it's all perfect, of knowing spiritually it's all perfect, and seeing on this physical plane the imperfections, but being able to digest them, being able to witness them, to know them, and keep an even keel. Now that's very hardcore spiritual, okay? And I just know that this is where you're going in your life. This is a huge life path. So I know we talked a lot about this one subject, but I just want to say this is really what's coming up for you. So those of you who have wanted to work with animals, who have wanted to work in the climate in some way, even, you know, humanitarian aid in any way to any type of people, you know, wherever you're drawn to, I know that you are finding your way to do this work. So this is like totally your life's purpose. And just need to tell you there's nothing to fear here because this is in resonance with your soul. So I know that you're a humanitarian. I know you're an activist. I feel that I'm dealing with people at all parts of that spectrum, people who are new to that scenario and who are wondering, like, how do I even know that, or how do I even get into this work? And people who have been in this work for a long time and have always known that. And it's even like social work as well. But you're very much in resonance with your soul. And as I'm feeling into the two, the divine design keeps coming up. Okay. So I have two cards here for you from Ganesha. I just felt drawn to this deck. Whispers of Lord Ganesha is the deck because of its spiritual and Eastern spiritual philosophy. So we have fulfillment and the number 6 coming up, and then we have also healing. And I just have to say that I really see Ganesha as surrounded by green and surrounded by greenery and nature and the outdoors. So talking about this climate, what's going on Earth, and talking about what this means to you and your connection to nature. I know that you're going to be expressing yourself through writing, even if that's just sharing your opinions on social media about what's going on. I also see you really being, you know, I see you on this peacock, which is the sign of abundance, also reminding me of Lakshmi. So I feel that some of you are familiar with Lakshmi. So Ganesha is riding this peacock. The sign is of abundance, honestly, and just knowing that financially, if you follow this path, because it resonates with your soul, you'll always find a way financially to survive and thrive when it resonates with your soul. So just like this, you deserve to make money for what you're doing, in the sense that it's not about the money, but you deserve stability, prosperity, the comforts of home, food, and just knowing that you have health care and all of these things that we need on the physical plane. You deserve those, and it's not something that you need to sacrifice in order to do humanitarian work. Some of you felt like you had to check out from the physical plane in order to get your psychic abilities, to get your spiritual downloads, and now you're being called back in. So you must be feeling that this month quite a bit, but Libra's helping you balance that. And I see you more as a healer, but you also are doing your own internal healing. This card says healing here. And when I'm saying that, I want to say that this opens up your third eye, your clairvoyance, quite a bit this month. So with your clairvoyance, I just want to say to also pay attention to the symbols in your dreams, because what you're going to be noticing is messages through dreams that are going to be resonating with, you know, what you're healing on the physical, what you need to heal consciously on the physical plane. I do see this as being a wonderfully abundant month for you. I know that you are receiving a lot spiritually, and a lot of spiritual growth for you here, number 2. So I hope this resonated with you. It feels so specific and so almost like singular. So it's like this message of being a healer, being a light worker in the world for the earth is such a hardcore message you needed to hear. So let me know in the comments if that resonates with you. Like, subscribe, whatever. Let me know, you know, how you feel, number 2. Thank you so much. I hope that you have a blessed October, and I just have a really high vibe from you, and just remember to stay grounded as much as you can. Okay, God bless. Okay, so now we are moving on to number 3. Okay. So number 3 is, I know that you are resonating deeply with your heart. I can see your heart's opening very much in this month. It's almost like I see you giving birth to children this month. For those of you who are not pregnant, giving birth to a Libra child, it's like the love of what is coming out of you is so strong, it just breaks your heart open so big. So I know that this would be something that is coming out of you, love in relationship, but also something that you'd been holding dear, your life's work, where you're seeing it kind of on display and becoming appreciated by others, or just coming out of you, which is breaking open your heart. So even wider, because I want to say you already resonate with a strong heart and a creative spirit to the point where it's like, could it possibly get any bigger? But it can, because you can handle it. It's kind of like you have a deeply empathetic heart. And as I'm saying that, I know that you'd have a hard time expressing your heart. So I know that you're being called to kind of put to words how you feel about somebody else, how you feel about your work, but mostly how you feel about others. It's almost like you'd rather joke about it than really give people like a real strong heart to heart. But you're being called to be really explicit in your feelings for another person at this point in time. So I see that romantically, but I also just see that generally for you, that just reaching out and telling people I love you. That is so on point. You're going to have so much emphasis, so much help from the universe, from spirit in doing that, because the sun is in Libra and it's such a romantic and a loving sign and a balanced sign. So when you do that, it's like your heart becomes into balance. When you don't do it, it feels like there is an imbalance, or that, you shut yourself off from expressing it because you're afraid to be hurt or rejected in some way. But it's really about expressing yourself with no expectations of what other people are saying. And I know that makes you feel very unstable. Okay. You're being called to have, real self-confidence, which is I express myself with no expectations of others. Self-confidence is a really highly spiritual trait, because it shows a lot of faith in who you are, in your own spirit, and therefore the great spirit. So the more you can do things without asking permission, or without, I want to say initiate things, initiate these conversations or initiate a connection, the better. And I hear the church bells, so I know that this is a celebration for your spirit. The more you express from your heart space about how you feel about others, about your ideas. I know this has to do with romance, but I also know it has to do with career and life's purpose. You hold back a lot out of fear of how it's going to be received. But this month really is about you balancing that a little bit and feeling more confident. When it comes from a heart space, it's totally aligned with your truth. And I know that when you are going to express these things, you're going to get a really, really high response. And I don't know if but I have to say it's not from the places that, you'd necessarily wish it was from. So it's letting go of the outcome, let go the expectation of what this should be. Okay. I know that we have people who are dealing with grief also in this heart-centered area, and I know that I'm getting a message from Spirit here, like you're surrounded by your loved one is coming through to let you know. So I feel that we have a few people who have lost someone within the last 3 months or so. Okay. And I just feel an energy, and it feels very maternal. It feels very feminine, love from Spirit coming for you through this message to give you some relief. Because it's like, I have to tell you also, threes, it's like you're experiencing pain in the body because of the grief, or pain in the body because of loss or feeling of separation. Now that may be from the loss. For a few of you, I know you've lost someone close to you. in the family, it feels like. And I feel that she's like shushing your tears. And for those of you who are just experiencing like loss in general, or a separation of some kind, I have to say, I know this is going to be itchy feeling for a while, but it's just this process that you're going through that is getting you back into balance. And you're being called to open your heart, or keep your heart open through the process. Don't let this hurt shut you down emotionally, because there is more life to live for you. There's more love for you that comes. And this is just a passing season and a passing phase and a really important experience that you have to have. So just go as deep into it as you need, as you're being called to go into it, but don't close your heart down. Meaning there's still love in the world, and there's still love for you. And I feel the love coming for you from spirit side, comforting you through this time. And I have to say, a lot of you are getting like a ringing in the ear. So those of you who have heard a ringing in the ear, I'm going to say it's your spirit's communication to yourself opening up here, clairaudience. So your ability to hear things that are not physically there, but they sound physical, or they sound like you're hearing things, is opening, as well as communication from those who have passed on. They're able to get through your ear. And that's a really, really special connection. And I know that if you're getting that kind of thing, you have a really strong faith. Because it's connected to your 5th chakra. And for some of you, I'm also getting that sense like something needs to also come out. Like that sadness needs to be recognized for it to come out. Around that separation feeling, in order for you to get those messages in your ear, kind of thing. So for those of you who are not getting them, I know I'm getting that message for you, because it was like you heard that and you were like, I'm not getting messages. I'm not getting ringing in my ear. It's only because there needs to be more internal processing. And not everyone's best interest is to hear spirit for your highest soul's purpose. And I know that's a hard one to digest at times. But for your soul's purpose, we all are here for different purposes. Some is to have that connection. Some is to have that faith. And I can tell that everyone who picked this number is very strong in their faith. It's like in the end, you know everything's going to be okay. And keeping your heart open is just the way that you're used to, and also what's best for you. So I want to pull you an oracle card as we finish. Okay. Well, let's see. 3 came out. 4 came out. Let's see. I'm really feeling more this one, this one, this one. Okay. So as I'm feeling into this, I know that we're talking about beauty within you. This is such a Libra energy. Lovers, such a Libra energy. And then Shakti, the universal energy of love, of power. So I know that what we're dealing with here is knowing that knowing your own soul's beauty, and in going with the reading that I've been giving you, that I want to say there is a love relationship for you. And I just feel like, as I'm touching on that, I feel like you just need that reassurance that there is love, there is a love relationship for you, and it's very simple. It's very balanced. Let's see here. I have to say, because I feel like for you, a lot of love relationships has felt like a lot of really hard work. And although they are work, it's not going to feel like that. I just have to put it that way. So some of you have this balanced relationship already, but those of you who are missing it, I have to tell you, it's not going to be like this hard work. Shakti is also with it to just, it's like so in the flow of with everything. And this is such a reassurance for you that if you're keeping your heart open, which is what we've been talking about through pain, the beauty, the relationship that you seek to find, and that congruence or that oneness. Shakti is like chi energy or the Holy Spirit energy. That's where you want to resonate when you get into a lover's relationship. And seeing this spread and seeing the 3 with your number 3 and the green for the heart, I know that this is part of your message for October. I know that at times you will be struggling with the beauty, so I feel that this energy of Libra and the sun in Libra is lifting up that spirit for you within you. So I also have to just encourage you to do a few of those things that you normally wouldn't spend money on doing for yourself, like a massage or just buying it's funny because I'm saying something I have to say, like buying makeup, which is funny because it's not something I normally say. So I just know that for you, the buying the makeup, sometimes it can come from a not spiritual or a place or a place of lack. But for you, it will come from a place of self-love. So it's like a lotion, a makeup, a good smell that you love. Just allow yourself to indulge in that one thing that you've been wanting, is basically because it helps you on the physical plane. And therefore it will resonate with your spirit. This is a super strong energy of the Shakti that comes through for you. So I know that you're going to be very grounded throughout this whole process. And I also want to feel like, I want to say that there's a feeling of completion around this whole process in the month of October. So whether it's like you feel this breakthrough in your heart opening, breakthrough in the grief, and this switch into a beautiful, more balanced time. There's this sense of completion, the 10, the month of October, the last leg of it. And you have a beautiful, beautiful open heart by the time you've explored all of this within yourself. So I hope you have a really blessed October. I hope this resonated with you. Let me know in the comments if it did or not, and how you might have felt drawn to that number and the messages that came through for you. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed month, and like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you. Okay. So, number 4. Okay. Okay, so we are working with number 4 here. Okay, for those of you who have picked number 4, it's almost like there's this feeling of detachment from my own sense of knowing what to do, my own intuition. There's a feeling of like a blank feeling, like I'm not getting any intuitive hits. It's like I'm trying to know what I'm doing. I want to know where I'm moving. I want to know where I should live. I want to know what's going on with my health. And I want to know my career. And it's like I'm not getting much of anything right now. Okay. And I have to tell you, being called here in this moment of pause, because it does feel like pause, to have faith and being drawn into your faith more. Okay. And I'm going to say a lot of you 4s are experiencing some kind of ailments as well. So I want to say, again, I'm talking about my health. And I really have to put my health first. So these little things that I've been kind of putting off, seeing a doctor for, whatever it is, I need to do that this month in order to show self-love. I know that I'm being called under this cardinal sign of Libra to take initiative here. And I want to say this has to do with taking care of me. And it has a lot to do with your way of getting clear is going to be being physically active, taking care of your physical health and exercising and eating well. And like going to that appointment, the doctor's appointment you need to do, getting your teeth checked, all of these things that seem so banal to you and so almost unnecessary are actually your avenue for getting through this hump period. Okay. I also know that you're very connected to Earth and the seasons changing. I want to say, like, this is a great time for you. You generally feel pretty good in the fall, in the Northern Hemisphere here. I'm even like seeing the pumpkins, so I just know that it's like there's certain things that are growing in the fall, and the certain things that of activities that you do in the fall, and the weather is really resonating with your spirit. So just to enjoy, like, day to day this part of the season. It's definitely helping you. I also want to say that I'm getting this sense of your feminine power, your flexibility, your intuition, all of those things are very strong in you. So I think feeling out of congruence with intuition is a big deal for you right now. It's just a temporary kind of thing. It's almost like I have allergies. Oh my gosh. I know a lot of you are suffering from allergies because that's coming up. And a lot of these like kind of ailments that are coming up are because two things. their physical relationship to your emotional environment. So it's like there's a lot going on emotionally, and it's like giving you a headache, and it's you're having allergies and all of this stuff. And it also is, at the same time, it is your indicator that you are able to heal yourself. Now, whether that means going to a doctor or finding also helpful for less major health issues, finding ointments and medicinal herbs and things like this that are going to help you both spiritually and physically through this emotional period. I just feel like there's a headache because there's been some fighting going on. There's been some words that have been exchanged between family members and in a relationship. And I just want to tell you not to accept, poor words against you. Because I can feel that for some of you, it's like coming out of you in anxiety ways in forms of eczema and hives. So it's very serious when, words are exchanged that are harmful to the spirit or harmful emotionally. You're getting physical reaction. So I want to say you're very physically intuitive. So to pay very close attention to how you feel when people are saying things to you. So whether or not it's that serious or not, it's like, how does it feel? Do you get heat in the face when someone's saying something to you? And what is that message? Is that message that I can trust this person? Or is that message like red flag? There's not a lot of truth in what's being told right now. So I want to say you're feeling blocked from your intuition, but I want to say it's just something that I feel like is changing for you and opening up because you're physically intuitive, meaning we all have that gift of intuition. So, it comes to us through our gut, through our thoughts, and for many of us, it comes through our physical body. And you're being called to really pay attention to your physical body as your message. Your physical body is the one who is sending you your intuition now. And I feel like you keep looking for it in your thoughts. And where you have to look is your physical body. And it will be interesting for you to look into metaphysics. It will be interesting for you to do all types of alternative healing methods, as well as those of you who know that you have a more serious condition and you've been putting it off, need to see a doctor. And anyway, I'm just saying, I'm not a doctor, and so please see a doctor and don't take this as medical advice, but this is a spiritual condition as well. So do both. Always be doing both so that you can see what the core of this really is, because it's really a positive thing. At the core, there's something that your spirit is trying to get through to you. And I just feel like pulling for you fours from the tarot deck. Okay. So I have the sign of the Hermit. The number 9. And so this is a really spiritual being who is like on his spiritual path, lit by his own spirit. Okay. So it's a sage. So I know that we're talking about here for you is like coming to this place of being at the end of a cycle here. Where extreme amount of wisdom will be coming through to you. So all of this worry about the intuition is I feel like this is an affirmation of not to worry about it at all, because this is the sage in you, the one in you who's extremely connected to spirit. And although you walk in the dark, like the sage does, alone, the reality is when you need to know, you know. And things are coming through for you. You have this kind of a Virgo energy about you as well, like who needs to know everything intellectually. And I feel like you're being drawn more into knowing from another plane. But you are knowing, you are knowing. And so the month of October for you, I also want to pull from this deck. Okay, let's see. So this is Nature's Wisdom deck. And this one is saying, open your heart and empowerment. So I know that with the empowerment, this is the hard part, is knowing that it's having self-confidence on this journey. It has so much to do with career and relationships for you. And knowing what your self-worth is. And trusting in those feelings and trusting in the things that your body is telling you instead of dismissing it as ridiculous. And then I also have the message for you here to open your heart. And I see the swan here of the beauty. So I know that this is particularly Libra energy that is influencing you in relationships, but especially to your relationship to yourself first. So I know that we're dealing with confidence issues and things like that, but I know that this month you're really being called very much like the 3 number, in case you picked also the 3, to balance and to keep your heart open, to see the beauty within you. I also see this as a relationship here. There's like a man in spirit and this woman here, divine, masculine, and feminine, that is being called for you to be balanced in and to keep your heart open. So I hope that this was really helpful for you. Those of you who chose number 4, please let me know if it resonated with you, and have a blessed October. Thank you so much for watching. Comment below, subscribe, and like. Thank you. Bye.